Alright, what is up guys? I'm finally back with a new video. So a lot of you guys may already know this, but FNCS is coming up and it's a good time to start practicing for it. So today I've decided to help you guys out in creating a routine to help you perform better in the FNCS. So let's just get right into it. So many of you might be wondering how exactly you should schedule your routine. There is no specific time limit for how long you should be practicing, but instead you should just experiment with how much you're spending doing each thing. For example, like you could spend 60% of your time playing, 25% practicing, and 15% analyzing. Everyone learns differently, so just adjust them to what works best for you. But if you do struggle with creating your routine, I would suggest checking out Novos. Novos is a new training platform for Fortnite that will help you build a routine based on your skills. Many top coaches and creators including Gamesense, Croder, and myself have helped build the routines that you will find in Novos. All you gotta do to sign up is simply enter your email and Epic username, and then afterwards you will get your skill score, and then all you have to do is answer a few questions based on the skills you want to practice, as well as your time. This way Novos can generate a custom routine designed specifically for you. Once you've completed that, you will have access to your routine. You will see a calendar with all the routines Novos suggests you to practice and for how long. Now if you'd like to change anything in the routine, you can personalize your schedule by moving around the routines to different days, or even add new routines with this button here. If you're looking for a specific routine, you can even type in names like Teadoh or Aimer7 and find our routines on there. Now remember that this is a learning process and Novos takes you hand by hand towards improvement. All you have to do is follow your training plan and you can generate a new training routine after 1 week. So if this does interest you, you can go to the link in the description and get a 7-day free access to all the content available on the platform and start training like never before with Novos. Alright, now back to the video. When you first start creating your practice routine, make sure you have a fair balance between playing the game, practicing, and analyzing, with more time actually playing the game, of course. You should also be spending more time on skills that you need to improve on, and continue to practice the skills that you're already good at. That way you make sure you maintain those skills and you can improve even more on those skills. Now how long should your routine be? Now this is different for every person because not everybody has the same amount of time to actually play the game. But what really matters is actually implementing those skills that you're learning in your practice and transfer those skills into your real games. That's pretty much all practicing is about, is transferring those skills that you're learning into your real games. If you can do this, you'll become better in no time. So instead of trying to focus on too many skills at once, make sure to target specific skills one at a time. That way you can become more consistent with them. So don't just mindlessly practice, because this is not going to help that much. For example, if there's a specific edit that you struggle with, keep doing it until you're consistent, then move on to the next one. Same thing goes with aiming. If there's like one specific skill that you lack in aiming, like let's just say flicks for example, then you want to put more time into that as well, and make sure you focus on that until you can get consistent with it. Next thing is also learning to create habits. Being able to create habits easily is how you will improve faster. For example, piece control and protected edits. Many people understand and know how to do these skills, but I see a lot of people still not doing them as often as they should be. So make sure you are actively thinking about creating these habits and forcing yourself to do it until you just start doing them naturally in every fight. There's a lot of in-game tricks that I know of, but sometimes I always forget to actually use them in-game, so I have to force myself, that way I can just start doing them naturally. Now when it comes to mechanics, the skill gap is very high. Nobody has truly reached the max skill level when it comes to building and editing. It seems like every month there's like some new editor that comes up with these crazy tricks, and there's so many tactics still being discovered, so make sure you keep practicing your building and editing because there's always new things to be discovered. And if you're too late to learn all these mechanics, then you're going to be very far behind. Now if you're limited by your ping like me, usually I average about 50 ping in game. For whatever reason, I don't know why it jumped up by like 30. I used to have 20. It really sucks now. But if you do have a high ping issue, then all you can really do is practice becoming as consistent as possible at what you're able to do. But anyways, based on the current Season 5 meta, I would currently try practicing tracking, piece control, protected edits, as well as any other skills you still struggle in. Now moving on to aiming, this is a very important skill and will determine if you win a fight or not. Now if there was one aiming skill you should work on the most, I would probably say it's shotgun aim. If you play on a controller, I would also suggest working on hipfire aim, since it's pretty difficult, especially if you're on linear. But other than that, everything else is fairly easy to learn on controller. It doesn't take too much time to actually get really good aim. But if you are on keyboard, I would highly recommend focusing more on your aim, because I know a lot of people who have very good mechanics but they can work on their aim a little bit more. They'll be absolute gods. Anyways, to improve your shotgun aim, you can play box fights, 1v1s, or even practice in an in-game training map if you prefer practicing in a less stressful environment. And most of you watching already know that I have lots of these training maps that you can find on my channel. Now moving on to Gamesense. Now this is actually a very important skill, probably just as important as aiming and mechanics as well. You just want to make sure you're keeping up with the meta at all times. The pros always know tricks far before the rest of us do, so make sure you watch their streams, analyze their matches so you know all the latest strategies that are currently being used. You should also try spending some time analyzing your own matches. Many people don't actually do this, but it's very easy to just hop on a replay right after like your arena match and skip to the part where you died and see what went wrong. Now there could be many reasons why you could have died. Maybe you did a wrong edit, you positioned yourself poorly, or maybe rotating somewhere else could have been a smarter idea. I could make a video more in depth on analyzing your matches, so let me know in the comments if you'd like a more in-depth video on this topic. And the last tip I have for you guys is just to take a break. Learning takes time, and this doesn't just apply to gaming, this applies to a lot of other stuff like exercise or just a lot of life skills in general. Taking constant breaks is always a good idea. But anyways, hopefully you guys found this video useful in creating your own routine. And if you are competing in the FNCS, good luck to all of you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.